Well, look, I mean, this is the problem of the moral vacuum that we have at the top of this government. You know, Anthony Albanese cannot talk about anti-Semitism without also talking about Islamophobia. Anthony Albanese, I believe, was one of the founders of Parliamentary Friends for Palestine back in 1999. Yep. He's from the left faction. His views on Israel have always been this sort of thing. Almost all of the people in Labour who used to have very strong views that were, would normally be called reasonable about Israel, most of them have exited the party or they're exiting Parliament. So now, it's all being taken over by this hard left. The problem with that, though, is that we are unable now to take sides in a conflict where sides must be taken. Albanese and Labour wants to pretend like, oh, look, they're good people on both sides, like they once said, Trump said, and people are hurting on both sides, so we're just going to try and stay out of it. No, I'm sorry. The thing is about Hezbollah, the thing about Iran is, the thing about all of the nations that you just mentioned there that want to control the Eurasian landmass is they don't just want to get rid of Israel. This is not just about Israel. This is not just about Jewish people. As bad as the attempt to eliminate Israel and Jewish people is, I thought we said never again about all of that. This is about a fundamental reordering of the world away from Western civilization. Now, the left, as we know, isn't a huge fan of Western civilization. So they look at Hezbollah and they say, well, okay, we're kind of interested in what you got to say here, and maybe we shouldn't go too hard on them because, they've got a point. But the fact is, when Israel blows up Hezbollah terrorists, they are doing the world a service. I don't know why this is so hard for people to say, except I do know because there's a bunch of voters in Western Sydney and Melbourne that they want to keep on side.
It's deeper than that. I think it's far deeper than that. It's an ideological position as much as it is,
of course it is,
a matter of convenience and looking at those particular electorates where they've got a couple of Labor ministers who would be feeling nervous. We've heard Kamala Harris say the same thing, that this isn't a binary conflict, trying to both sides it. And when Trump was in, and he does not get enough credit for this, he does get a little bit of credit for the Abraham Accords and normalising relations between Muslim-majority countries and Israel.
Sunni
but what
countries.
he did was he isolated and impoverished the Iranian regime. He went to China and put enormous pressure on China, basically said, if you buy Iranian oil, I'm going to put a massive tariff on all your products into America. Guess what the Chinese did? They stopped doing that much business with Iran.
Iran was broke.
And all of that good work where the Iranian regime was on its knees was reversed almost immediately by the Biden-Harris administration. And we are seeing the effects now. The Iranian regime is emboldened, it's enriched, it's got this alliance with China, Russia, North Korea, the axis of evil, if you want to call it. And you can defeat Hamas, you can defeat Hezbollah, as long as the Iranian regime is there, which funds both those groups, there'll be another threat to Israel. So that's something that has to be acknowledged as well, that what's the long-term plan? Because once these groups go, you're going to have another one rise.